Hello and welcome back to the PLP. For anyone who's watching these religiously, firstly, you're mental. Secondly, you'll realise that I'm probably filming these back to back beyond the date they were supposed to be shown and aired in the first place. So apologies for that. But it's now barely past 7:30 in the morning. I've just finished filming the previous day's one. I'm on my second pot of coffee, and I'm joining you for just one live game, basically. It's a big one though. It's Hart Chamberlain at home to Dauncey's Devils, both very much in the automatic promotion mix. The home side with a lot of games in hand on the away team. But Dauncey with points on the board. You would suggest if Lawrence can win this, and it's been a very good start, he's going to be up there as the favourite for promotion. I mean, Warringham are another team in there that have got games in hand, looking very handy. But Hart Chamberlain have even matches to spare on him. And, a win today really does put them in the driving seat. Which, I mean, not being disrespectful or rude at all. I think I've told Lawrence this to his face, but that's an all Spurs side with a very, minus obviously Ratty up top, a very un-Spurs-like performance this season. There was nothing really last year to suggest this was going to happen. Then again, the same can be said for Dauncey as well. Both of them were sort of mid to lower tier most of the year. I think they both rallied right at the end for sort of a firm mid-table placing, but nothing suggested they would be firing towards the top this season. And especially for Lawrence, like it's been quite transparent about just doing this to see some of his old Spurs legends play each week, and suddenly those Spursy icons are fighting for a title. What he'd give for Ledley King to join that army. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get his hands on him. Maybe if Lawrence promises to bring out the greatest t-shirt that ever existed, which is essentially a Burger King logo with it says Ledley King on it, maybe that would sway negotiations. But at the moment, he doesn't really need him. Scott Parker running in behind. Saw Højbjerg earlier in the year hitting a purple patch of goal scoring, of all things. And now his other DM is joining the party to put in a commanding position. An assist and a goal for Scotty. And Darren Anderson, with his customary 45 minutes, normally comes on around half-time every game. Obviously his silly little legs can't really endure any more than 45. But it's commendable. I mean, it's the reason this whole project started, is if you wanted to build a team based on your own favourites from yesteryear, then you can. That's exactly what Lawrence has done with his Tottenham side. And it's going very well. Following this is the only live game, but we're going to just quickly take a look at the end of the group stages of the Champions League and Europa League for this season. Firstly, well done to Lawrence. See what that does to the league table shortly, but what a result. There it is. Hart Chamberlain into the automatic places with 4 games in hand on Warringham and 8 games in hand on the team he just beat. Goal difference already level with that team, with Dauncey's Devils. He'd have to go down to myself in a 9th for a team that has more games in hand. He is sitting pretty. Dauncey Devils really there for the taking in terms of the automatic spots, but you'd hope that those points on the board would be good enough to secure playoffs unless he has a dramatic change of fortunes in the second half of the year. Now jumping up to the Champions League. Myself and Warringham are both in action. Our final game before we can leave this wretched competition for a little while. Tough one, obviously away at Bayern Munich. Nothing really riding on it, so it's quite annoying to see Michael Owen and Les Ferdinand risked, especially the former. Very familiar, world-class players there. I think that might drop me out of the top 8. How about Warringham? I completely missed you. There we are, a 1-1 draw in Turkey. Haaland inevitably, again, risked unnecessarily, but doesn't look like there's been any harm done. Some less recognisable names in there. So what's that done to the table? It has dropped me out into 9th, so I'm going to have to deal with a playoff round as well, which really isn't ideal. I'm going to fall further behind in terms of League 2 appearances. I don't really know how this competition works, but I think, do I just play Copenhagen, or is it just a random draw against any other playoff team? We'll find out. Into the Europa League for Dan City Y, who I think did need a win on their final day to get into the top 8. But it could only manage a draw at home to Qarabag. Yes, I know that's not how you say it. There's no point looking at their team really. Up the Patrick in centre mid. And yeah, a few more unnecessary risks taken, and it's ended up with Tariq Lamptey getting injured, which doesn't sound important, but actually he's been a pretty solid mainstay for Dan so far this year. Has that been enough to put him into the top 8, or has he got another annoying fixture to come? He's the same as me, ending up just above Portsmouth. It's only Watford A that have achieved automatic, didn't lose a single game. So yeah, me and Wyman are going to fall further behind in terms of League 2 games played, with those annoying playoffs upcoming. No manager sackings, quick and easy for this highlights reel, and I'll catch you at the weekend following the end of the transfer window.